Hello, this is NSpeak. I'm just wanting to report what I think is a bug. I say that because this is a problem I've had before. It went away, and now it's back with kind of a vengeance. And it's really kind of screwing some things up for me. I'm going to show you what it is first here. Let's go to an empty world. No asteroids. And turn off all this nonsense. That's fine. Actually want to speed this up so we can actually see the problem. Enable spectator. Then I'm going to load some mods here. And I'm going to go to load Mercury. Actually, no, I'm going to load the Mercury that I have simply because that's the image that's up. I want to make sure that this is all good. So this is the revamp of Mercury I did when I last had to make this fix. Or around the time that I made this. I think this might have been actually just a texture change. But either way. So we've got that. We're going to turn that off, go here, get some shadows so we can also see the effect a little better. Load up this. And this is just so you know, see what's happening with mods I'm using. These are just not anything that's going to affect my stuff. It's just going to be what it is. So it shouldn't have any effect on the planet. So we'll load these up. And we'll call this bug illustration just for SNGs. And we need this to be offline. I just like it realistic. We're in creative. Okay, so we'll load this world up. And the problem I'm having while we're waiting for it to load is that there seems to be, and I don't know whether it's because the sun is rotated differently or if it's because the planets are actually being rotated. I can't find anything that I can change to alter a planet's rotation. But, okay, here we are. There's the sun moving. There are a couple issues here. Let's get it going the way it should be going here. We'll show this. Let's get the sun going across the sky the way it should be going. East to west. Also an important thing to note here. Wait for that to come back around. Yep. Okay. So we're going to paste in a planet. We'll set it to 120, and it will be Mercury. We'll load it. I'm using this because I know where the center of the up tile is on this, and I'll explain what that is in a second, but I know where the top of this planet is. Exactly, because I placed things there that are important. Now, if you look, this is the way the planet should be oriented with this being up. So the sun rises in the east and sets in the west. But if we go up here, let me just shift into... We don't need that. If we go up here, this is not the top of the planet. This is the bottom of the planet. But if I go down here, we take a look, that's east to west. That's the sun going east to west. So the main problem, one of the main problems, is that planets are upside down. Because let me show you first where it seems to be the top of the planet now. This is a planet I created, by the way. So I got to find the spot around which it's spinning, kinda. And I know that is somewhere. Yes, there is the Calaris Basin. And we know that it is spinning somewhere around here currently. Here. Roughly here. If I go down here, whoop, too far. You can see the sun is kind of going around here nicely, except it's going the wrong way. But this is the top of the planet. Although it's not really the top of the planet, this is more like the edge. Let me explain this for people who don't know. Hopefully the people watching this already know this. The planets are made of these tiles. You can see these here. These are the height maps. These are the people use them for ore markings. I use them to create albedo shading. These are the material maps, and I've created very custom ones. But they have up, down, front, back, left, and right. Right, and that's kind of, this is supposed to be the top of the planet, the center of this tile, which is what we have here. This is the up tile. And you can see this is the center of the planet. But what actually appears to be happening is that I believe this is where the top of the planet is currently, which is not correct. So there's this massive shift from here to around here. You can see this is the top of that Caloris Basin. And I can actually go up and show you this point. I know because it's one of the few places on Mercury where I put ice, because according to NASA, in these really deep craters at the poles, ice forms on Mercury because the sun never shines in these, and so that was important for me to kind of recreate. So let's find that. We know that's there. So if we go up here, we'll wait till the sun comes up a bit. Should be somewhere around here. You can find it. We might have to make a couple passes. It's always interesting trying to find these things. Where did it go? Ah, here we are. I think this is it. To double check it. In a minute, as the sun goes by again. But you can see this is almost, it's not too far from the middle. It's getting a whole lot of sunlight. We'll see if this is the one here in a minute as it comes around. There's these. Is that it? Yes. See, I put ice in there. It's one of the few places, and that was done on the voxel map, where there's ice. But the sun is getting a lot of sun. This should be what was happening with that other crater is what should be happening here. It shouldn't be doing this at all. And I don't know why that is, but it is. And that is this crater right here. You can see those others there when we were a minute ago. We'll go back to it when the sun comes around. But that is the center of the up tile, and it is no longer up. And the problem with this is that if you do any sort of biome stuff, right? If you do anything with the biomes, so yeah, you can see those other craters there. That is the up tile. Get it aligned correctly, like that. That's it. You can see that shape. Bloop, and these. This is it. The problem is that when you create biomes in Space Engineers, the biomes there are a couple ways you can do it. You can do it via the biome map, or you can do it via the latitude and longitude, but the latitude and longitude is based on these tiles. So up is up. And so what happens, and you can see a little bit, let me paste Earth here, just so you can see how drastic this problem is. Because I know that I don't do biome changes by latitude, but they do for Earth. This is the vanilla Earth-like. I'm just going to paste this over here. Get that in. Now you can see they have, you see this? This ring here is a pole. This is the lower pole where it's supposed to start getting icy. And then around the center of the planet, there's supposed to be this desert belt, right? But that desert belt is almost near the poles. Oh, did I go in? I didn't. Let's go back out. Let's find the point around this, which this is turning. Yeah, it seems to be about here, which is very, very odd, because the up is over there, and this is off. And I understand possibly doing an axial tilt. The problem, and I don't know if that's what they're attempting to recreate here, some kind of axial tilt where the planet is, because the Earth is tilted 23 degrees. This is not 23 degrees. This, I think, is significantly more than that. But that's just too much. And not every planet has an axial tilt or is tilted to that extent. I think Mercury has like a 2% or 2-degree shift. So it's something that's not particularly useful, so I don't know why that's being done. And it certainly kind of screws up the biome work and things like that. So I don't know if this is a bug. I don't know if this is a feature. I don't know if this is a product of the planets themselves being rotated or if it is just the way the sun works. I don't want it to be the sun because I just figured out how to create a false ecliptic plane where I can put planets. I have the entire solar system, well, not the entire solar system, the inner planets of the solar system lined up on an ecliptic, which is great, except for, again, the sun goes backwards. So I'd like to know, is this a bug? Is this something that's going to be fixed, needs to be fixed? It was fixed before, and now it's come back, but it's actually worse now than it was. When plants were first introduced, this was actually rotated the other way. I have this 180 degrees right now. So this area here used to be up here, but I manipulated the height map to create some. Well, it's a product of creating erosion. Anyway, that's a whole nother story. But I was actually, the planet was, when planets first came out, it was rotating somewhere, I want to say around here, which would have been, yeah, somewhere around here. But now it's over in this area. But for a while there, they did get back, and it's because I had adjusted my planets to account for this before. Let me see if I can find my earlier. I've got a lot of work mods. Maybe this is an earlier one. Let me see if it has the old height maps. I think so. Yes. So I put the center around here because that's where it was the last time. I had to manually shift the height maps in order to create this. which is a big pain in the butt because you also then have to shift the voxel maps and the biome maps, and all the work that you do has to be shifted, and you can't adjust latitude, longitude biome changes because that's connected to up, down, front, back, left, right, and latitude and longitude along that axis, which runs through the center of the up tile. So I don't know what to make of this and whether or not it's something that is a bug or a feature. And if it's a feature, I think it needs to be tweaked because it screws up planet modding completely. If it's a bug, it needs to be fixed because it's a bug. And I really would hope that they would finally flip planets around so that they're facing the right way up, so that the sun goes the right direction. I think they've fixed this in Medieval Engineers already, after I mentioned it, and other people mentioned it. But that's still not fixed in Space Engineers, and I really wish it would be because it's just really kind of disconcerting and disorientating to have things going backward like that, and it kind of takes away, at least for me, the immersion. I'm sure a lot of people just don't really care, but for me and somebody who's as somebody who's trying to design planets intelligently, and use the biomes and make use of things and trying to create interesting worlds, diverse worlds that have very interesting features like ice deep in craters at the poles. If it's off like that, it just creates a whole problem and makes it it really kind of ruins the illusion. I have a planet where I'm trying to put clouds in for the day that hopefully Keen supports cloud modding. And now the top of the clouds where it gets all scrunched together is not at the pole, where that feature would be a little more hidden. So the clouds are rotating somewhere around the equator, which is it's just kind of bizarre. But anyway, that's my spiel. That's what's happening. And I'd like to know if this is this a bug, is this a feature, will it be fixed, do they know about it, that kind of thing. All right, thank you. Bye-bye.